I didn't wake up that morning knowing that I was going to nearly die that day. And I don't think you'd wake up any morning thinking that, oh shit, like it could have been all snuffed out then. I've got one shot at this life. Make it count. I wanted to leave a legacy and just try to leave the world a better place.
Hey, he's got me looking quite beige. Got me deep in the haze. There's no more compassion, no. Raise me. I need something fast. I need something to last and give satisfaction, no.
My name is Bo Langford. I'm a 27-year-old ex-carpenter from South Australia, and we run Outback Cleanups Australia. This is our story. Outback Cleanups Australia's first remote cleanup charity. It was founded in January 2019 by myself. Since 2019, we have removed just under 70,000 kilos with a total of 68,500 and something, give or take, resulting in just over about 15 million pieces of rubbish we've picked up.
What can I be saying? I wanna catch the wave.
In the town on the hill where the apples grow.
I come from the Fleurieu Coast. Originally I was born in northern New South Wales, just out of a small town called Nimbin. It's my parents, Janie and Peter, and they were opal miners from a town called Minsby out in South Australia's far north. Moved down to the coast when I was about 5 years old because it wasn't a fit place to raise two kids in my parents' opinion, so we moved down to the coast to get a better education and potentially have a better life for us. And so over this time, I suppose I saw a massive problem with waste, not only in the outback, but on its coasts as well. And that always was something that stuck and fermented in me from a very young age. So as soon as I was old enough to be able to do something about it, even working full time, I was out in every spare waking day I had to be able to go out and clean something up.
Someone's bride by an Egyptian sheep.
It had sort of been ingrained in me that there was a problem with pollution and there needed to be something done from a very young age. And then moving down to the coast only highlighted that more, that the problem wasn't so much just in the outback, but it was also on the coast and in the beaches and reefs and those kind of ecosystems around Australia. I was a very independent child, and so if I ever had a problem, I just sort of fixed it myself. That's sort of just what I did. If I wanted something done, just sort of did it. And the same with rubbish pollution, I suppose. So I was a bit shocked at society and whatnot, but I thought, well, I'm here and I've got two hands, so I'll sort of pick it up, I suppose. And I've never not had that thought. I've never been like, oh, it's just too much. I'm just going to leave it. I'll be like, well, I can do something about it, and I know that something needs to be done about it, so I will. I suppose that kind of responsibility and, hey, look, this is a problem, just resonated in me, and I just started picking up. I never really thought any much more about it. We've got another ironing board down here on the coast. Now these are really popular along, basically fishermen come down and they just leave them in the dunes. But unfortunately, when they do seem to deteriorate, they don't take them off the beach. So they will break up and they just become another eyesore and potentially a big risk for tetanus and something like that for kids playing in the dunes. So if we ever see these, we do remove them. Guys, if you do take them down, just pick them up, take them home with you. It's that easy. Hands as well. Nothing but support from my family. Truly blown away. I'm very, very lucky to have the family we do have. And it was a big change. It's certainly, when I sort of came up with the idea of this charity, it was something that they'd sort of known that I was passionate about. Obviously working with other non-profits in the past, like Our Coast, Our Mission, being co-founder of that, and working with Sea Shepherd, Marine Debris Campaign. It was something that I was sort of invested in more so than just the average sort of weekend work. It was becoming sort of consuming all my spare time was this passion. And so when Outback Cleanups did start, I think they sort of saw it coming, so to speak. Not in the way that it did happen, but I think they sort of knew that I was eventually going to go down that road. Just grabbing some sacks so we can chuck them in another sack and then load them up into the trailer. I've been building a portfolio of useful equipment for this charity. So depending on if we want to do a beach, a bush or a marine campaign, generally we try and incorporate the three into one campaign. But if we have a main focus, then we'll select the equipment for that job. So we've been able to build up a couple of tinnies and a couple of off-road trailers that have been able to help us achieve this goal. All right, so the guys, today we're just going out on a small outback cleanup. We call it an Ocker cleanup. and we're just going to hit some beach bush marine locations. We're going to be servicing a little cattle track in between two big pasture paddocks, and we might find some stuff. Heard reports of some white goods sort of dumped out there, so we'll go and investigate that, and a few odd tyres, as well as some other random bits of rubbish. Some other locations that we're going to hit this afternoon is we will go and check out several fishing sort of campsites along the coast over here on the York Peninsula that we currently are. We'll probably find some campfires with some nails and cigarette butts and the usual jazz in there, as well as probably some littered bottles, cans, and many bits of broken glass. So, yeah, come along for the day and see what we can collect.
No, I didn't plan for this.
We just found a big bit of white goods, an old refrigerator dumped here. Unfortunately, it's had a colony of feral bees come and move in. So for a safety point of view, Kimberly and I are actually going to leave this because we're so remote. If something were to happen, we've got a 400k round trip to hospital. And not only that, we're disturbing a colony of living creatures here. So we'll GPS tag this item with our pin drop, and then we may even get a beekeeper or something to come along and help smoke us out, or come here at night with some smoke and relocate these bees. If we can get the queen into a peg, relocate the queen, and the rest of the colony will follow her, and we can remove this safely. So this is what we'll do. We'll take some photos here, we'll get as much information of this as possible, and a few little loose items around it, such as tyres and stuff, we will be able to get in the trailer. But unfortunately, that piece of white good will be staying there for today. Well, look, growing up in the desert, it definitely wasn't a standard childhood. You know, we never had particularly flash toys growing up. We had to make a lot of our own things. Like, I remember having a big Milo can. I must have looked for months to find this mega Milo can, and then filling it with rocks and putting a big piece of fencing wire through it. That was like a steamroller as a child. And that's, you know, that's what you had in the desert. There wasn't a toy shop. It wasn't like Toys R Us, you know. It's 1,200 k's from anywhere, or 700 k's to Alice Springs if you want to get something. So we sort of, everything always had a use, you know. It was always recycled or upcycled. You try and be as creative as you can with what you had. And that's very much what we try and do at our backs, is recycle as much as we can. So that's why we data log everything that we pick up. So rubbish recycling, general waste, green waste, and categorise it, data log it, and then take it, so that we are absolutely putting as much resources and much reusable materials back into the economy that we can, rather than just sending it to landfill and having to get more virgin materials out the ground. So I will weigh it, and then I'll pour it out and categorise. So I'll get your weight first. Generally, it's Kimberly and I operating, just the two of us. So Kimberly will grab the clipboard, I'll get down on my hands and knees, and then we sort through and data log everything we picked up. You can see the danger this all poses to marine wildlife. Takeaway coffee cup, 1. Yeah. Household item, garden edging, 1 building material. Yeah. You name it, whatever we picked up, we log. I didn't wake up that morning knowing that I was going to nearly die that day. And I don't think you'd wake up any morning thinking that. I was up at 5 AM ready to go to work. I'm on my way. Huey rings me and goes, "Mate, don't worry about it. It's pouring rain all day." And so I went home, and the house that I'd was renting had this ginormous garage on it, and I'd bought a second-hand roller door to put in this ginormous garage. I thought, bugger it, I'll install the roller door. So, hour into this job, and it's not a particularly hard job. I had the roller door up, I had it tensioned. The door was stopping about not even 5 mil from those tabs. Anyone would have just said, "That's perfect, walk away." For those that don't know, a roller door has a huge amount of stored energy in it, about a tonne worth of stored energy in a big spring. And sure, it's a bit difficult to talk about. And I put the door down because it wasn't shutting, and I thought, right, I'm going to crank this door one over, and so it's just going to go doof and have more energy than you ever need in it. And so I loosened the bolt, the U-bolt that holds the shaft. Probably one of the worst ideas I've ever had in my life. The door shot up, and one of the corrugations in the roller door hit the back of the chisel when it went bang, straight through my face. Went just over 60 mil through my cheekbone. Took out my eye socket, my cheek, my tear duct, all the nerves, and broke some of the teeth roots up in the top of my jaw. It was quite a big hit. I think I woke up about 8 hours later with a whole heap of stitches in my face, and I think I've got 3 plates in there and 40 odd screws. The doctors came in, and it wasn't until 2 or 3 days after the operation they came in, and they're like, "You know how lucky you are to be alive?" And I was like, "No, I got no idea." It lit a fire in my gut. I was like, I am so lucky to be here. And this new lease on life is like, I'm so lucky to be here. I'm gonna go do exactly what I want to do, and I'm gonna hit the bloody road.
Rivers run dry, dust spreads in the air. 2 dark days, do you have a tear to spare? Make a promise, the world awaits. It's heavy just breathing through this debate. We'll start come on, start a riot. When they love you too much, now it's fame, fake, or even hate.
I flew up to Brisbane, still feeling a bit sorry for myself, had bugger all cash, and I think I was like, bugger it, I'll walk down and I'll have a pint at the pub. And not that I encourage this in any way, but I bought a, what did I do? I put $3 in the pokies, and I think I won $98. So I went and took 95 out and bought a $3 scratchy and won $5,000 on the scratchy. And thought, you beauty, excuse my language, that's my ticket to freedom. So I flew back to Adelaide, I dropped the car in at Toyota, I got it sprucened up until it was as good as it could be for a 300,000 plus K vehicle. So I got a new radiator put in it, genuine Toyota brass radiator. Just did a once over the car and then hit the road. Basically, it was like bugger it. And along the road, there was a huge amount of rubbish in places that I didn't expect there to be. I drove myself into Esperance doing cleanups along the way, and spent, I think it was $20 a day for 8 hours in the library. So I spent $60 over 3 days at the library just hiring a computer and looking for some organisation I could reach out to, or just some thread I could pull that could, help this problem. And I was shocked, actually, for such a developed country as we are, and such a big country as we are, Australia, with so much coastal areas, that we had nothing. And so that really inspired me to start something on it. And when I was sitting in Mexican Hat Island, I had the idea of starting, a charity or a non-profit, because I was like, there's no way you can do it as a business and make money, because who's going to pay you to come pick their rubbish up? And I didn't want there to be the drive behind it as financial gain. It had to be non-profit. It had to be out of passion. We'll try and consist of 4 campaigns in a year, and that will generally cost us, as of 2022, our last financial year, we made no money. We are a non-profit, and it cost us about $90,000 to undergo our mission. Now, to do that, we need support from the general public as well as companies. So we encourage anyone out there, if they'd like to get involved with us, with this organisation, please reach out through our contacts on our social media, Outback Cleanups Australia on Facebook, Outback Cleanups on Instagram, outbackcleanupsaustralia.com as our website, outbackcleanups@gmail.com is our email. Please reach out if you're a business that could bring something to the table to help benefit. If you're an individual that would like to learn a bit more or get involved with the charity, please reach out. We are looking to expand. The more rubbish we remove, the better results, and the better the bush is going to be around the country. So if you'd like to help us out, there's several ways available.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the room. When I get there, I'll let my feet roll. When I get there, I'll break in your arms, I'll lose control.
I don't do this, and I have never done this to get rich or to get famous. I do it because I genuinely care and I love this country and I want to see it preserved for the future. It comes down, there's always one line that resonates, which I got from a sea shepherd. It's not my line. But if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? And I suppose every time I see a piece of pollution, that resonates with me. It's a big motivator, that one. There's no planet B.
Without love.